the LTN Hour.
Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to the great off season as we get ready for the court proceedings, which is really next. Oh, the fun. Hello there, Todd Bailing in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, where it hasn't dropped below 80 degrees for a high since I've been here, but that's going to change this week and get cold like Wisconsin, except Wisconsin's beautiful this week. So figure that out. Joined by my three partners. First of all, Brian Schmidt over in Oostburg, Wisconsin. Hey, bud.
Morning. Yeah, the great off season. Just seems, here we are only in November, the second weekend of November, and it seems like we've been in the off season a long time, but NASCAR ended so much earlier this year than normal. With your season ending on November 2nd. Next year it'll be a week later, but remember years ago, I think it used to end like the week before Thanksgiving, right, Dan? Weren't you down in Homestead and it was like the week before Thanksgiving is when they normally ended?
Yeah, it always was right around Thanksgiving week.
That would be Dan Margetta of St. Francis, Wisconsin, who we just
off season. Everybody, we race. We can't wait to get to the time off, and we get some time off, and a week later we're like, what do we do now? We need to get going again.
PJ Noodleman over in Trempealeau, Wisconsin, the left coast.
The left coast. It's sunny and 41. I'm loving it.
Yeah. That's good. It's been really nice in Wisconsin, hasn't it?
It has.
Well, we are. It's an off season, but we've been preparing for this because it's time for court proceedings to. The 1st of December is when the court actually convenes for this, and they start selecting jury people. But Dan Margetta has been keeping on top of the latest developments from the legal world and can fill us in about what's happened this week.
Not a lot. I think the biggest thing that went down is the depositions from Rick Hendrick and Roger Penske. They were supposed to be called as witnesses, and they couldn't find a time to depose Rick Hendrick. He couldn't find a time to do it. The 2311 guys on that side said, we want to exclude him from the witness statement. We don't want to have him testifying because we didn't get a chance to depose him. And they couldn't find a time, Hendrick's lawyers and their lawyers couldn't get together and find a time that worked to sit down. While the judge kind of said, find some time. I don't care if it happens after the trial starts. Find some time to do it. We're not going to exclude his testimony. That's probably the biggest thing that happened. I think
you don't have time for this shit. Oh, yes, you do. You can't tell them you can't do it. I'm too busy. What the hell is he thinking?
And they were trying to restrict or narrow down what they could ask him about, and I think that kind of got shut down a little bit too. I mean, it's everybody that's a fan of court proceedings is waiting for this thing to start and say, let's just pop some popcorn and watch this go, because it's going to be pretty interesting.
It is. I see both sides believe that this thing is going to be resolved quickly. Now, if they actually believe that, it seems to me we shouldn't even have to go to trial, right? And yet, everybody is hell-bent on getting this thing taken to court. NASCAR is trying to keep, they're trying to take a step back and say, we're not the bad guys here. We want to have a settlement. We've talked to them, and they're just not interested. Well, it seems like if you're going to do that, let's get it moving, right? Or do they want to?
And they should. I mean, because once this thing goes off, and if they do it, as it keeps going, it's just going to, explode more. And not only the legal stuff and the meat and potatoes of it all, but just the fallout of it. I mean, just the stories that are going to fly out there on social media and all the garbage that's going to come out. It's not going to look well PR wise. I don't think anybody's going to come out of it looking really good.
No, there's no positives out of this thing. There are people that for years have been looking forward to having NASCAR's pants pulled down and over something, and they think this is going to do it. I'm not sure it's really healthy for our sport, actually. We want NASCAR to survive. We like the racing. We like following it. We like the drivers. And yet, there's something about Big Brother who likes to throw around, we made new rules. Who the hell are you to make up all these rules? Well, they're the ones that own the goddamn sandbox. They can make up rules. That's how it works. And yet you got people like Michael Jordan, who was way smarter than anybody thought he was, come in and say, this isn't a good business model. You're not thinking of the teams. You're thinking of yourselves. Well, it's really nice to have you, Michael. Yeah, well,
think how long EIRI lasted. I mean, they got away with that. That was the one line in the rule book. EIRI, except in rare instances. They always went to that and said, that's the way it is.
No, it's last page of the rule book. We'll change it as we see fit, when we see fit, because it's our sandbox. I don't know. I guess this is what we're going to on the 1st of December. We're going to start watching this close and see what happens. Maybe it'll be over with in a hurry. Where are they going to find enough people that in North Carolina, by the way, that haven't heard of Michael Jordan? Are you kidding me?
Right. Yeah, that's going to be an impossibility, especially down there, because isn't he originally from North Carolina? Because he grew up loving racing. That's just ridiculous.
And, he played for the University of North Carolina and owned the franchise in Charlotte. He's been there and is a North Carolina guy. Yeah, he grew up loving NASCAR and was in the minority there among black kids, because I'm sure it wasn't a real popular sport among black kids because there was no black people involved. But it's changed over the years, and for the betterment of the sport, really. There's nothing wrong with it, bringing all these new fans in. That's what they want, to keep expanding. But now the same guy that we're so happy to get is the one trying to pull their pants down. And the way it looks right now, it's going to happen. What do we do when we see what NASCAR's hiding under them shorts? What now? What are we going to get out of it? Is it going to be better for our sport? I don't know about that. We can only hope. At any time during this program, if you'd like to call and weigh in with anything we say, we have this telephone number that has not changed. 414-421-7901. And we'd love to hear from you. Why not? It's a good time of year to get all this stuff out of the way. What's that, Dan?
A good thing to look at as far as how this might all shake out is look what IndyCar went through back in the 90s. Their split. It really killed them. I mean, it really took them out, and it paved the way for NASCAR to get really huge. I mean, really. And so kind of looking back at that, they had a little bit of dispute there that went on forever, and nothing ended up well for either side on that, and NASCAR got huge. So looking back at that, does the same thing happen in NASCAR here? Do you beat each other up so bad that you've nothing left when it's all done? And what moves in to take its place? Will another series come in to rise again, or what'll happen that way?
As the old saying goes, those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. And that seems to be what we're looking at.
And they can't seem to think that this is going to only be detrimental. I mean, if you really want something to come out of this, get your lawyers in the damn room and get it worked out. It can't possibly need to go in front of a jury, but I think it's more important to Michael Jordan to have NASCAR be embarrassed for some reason. I don't know why. Why would that be? Anyone? That makes no
sense. I think he wants a more fair business model to the teams, which is what he's looking at, and he's looking at it from more of a professional sports side of it, like what the NFL, the NBA, and MLB do, where it's pretty equal, other than MLB, but it's pretty equal amongst all the teams. We don't quite have that in NASCAR. Teams are forced to do this, they're forced to do that, they're forced to race this car, they're forced to do all that kind of stuff. And I think he thinks it should be more. There should be more equity amongst the teams to have more say in it, but that's not how NASCAR was built, and that's NASCAR's side of it. So, you can definitely see how both sides of it work.
No doubt. In the next segment after this break, we are going to talk to Carson Kvapil. It's been a while since we've had him on, and things have gone rather well for old Carson, and we'll talk to him when we come back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Welcome back to LTN. Carson Quapple joins us from his home in North Carolina. Hi, Carson.
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing great. I would think as this season got started, if you had the goal of making it to the Final Four, that would have been a pretty lofty goal, and I'll be damned if you didn't do it. And overall, I think it was a great season, and I hope you agree with me.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, there was a lot of highs to it, and there were some lows, just like any race season, right? And we kind of, I guess, points-wise, we outperformed what we were expecting to, but definitely still some room for improvement, and the grind never stops. So they're always looking for how we can be better and what we can do different.
And now you have the PJ Noodleman, by the way. Hi again.
Hey.
You have a full-time ride now that you're going to be in the Xfinity Series. Are you going to be working with Rodney Childers, or do you know who's going to be your crew chief?
Yeah, it's going to be it's a little messed up. I mean, we got 24 races in the number one car with Rodney. Those will be some really good races for us, I think. That'll be, I guess, the ones to circle. And then there's 9 races that we were able to put together after we made the part-time announcement that are kind of question marks right now. Whether it's going to be in a JRM part-time car or whether it's going to be for another team, all that stuff's kind of unknown right now, and we're still trying to put it all together and try to figure out how to make it all work. But there will definitely be 24 races with the one car with Rodney. So everything else is kind of still a work in progress.
And have you had a chance to talk with Rodney yet? How are you thinking that's going to be a good relationship? I feel like the two of you are going to gel really well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like me and him, both of our backgrounds are pretty similar. He used to late model race, and I'm a late model racer, so I feel like we're going to work together really well. And I've got to talk to him quite a bit and kind of lean on him and go to lunch with him and see what he thinks and just see how he works, right? And I do agree with you. I think we're going to gel really good, and I think everything's going to be all good. And I think his experience that he has is going to help me, and the kind of a rookie mentality that I have, he's going to help me navigate some of the things that I guess we struggle with this season.
So looking back at your season here and making the Final Four, what are the things I guess you're going to take going forward next time you get into the playoffs? And of course we don't even know what the format's going to be, I guess, but say the format kind of stays the same. What are things that you would like to do differently that you think you could do to have a better result at the end?
Yeah, honestly, I haven't really sat down and thought about what exactly I need to be better at. I think it's kind of one of those situations where I'm definitely going to sit back and think about what we could have done better, what we could have done differently. But I honestly do think it's just going to be after I sleep on it for an off season and kind of think about it. And obviously, us racers, we never stop thinking about racing in our previous races and what we need to do to be better. So I think just sleeping on it on an off season and coming back to Daytona to start off 2026, I think I think just by then I'll be a lot better. You know, I feel like there's a lot of little things that I need to clean up, and there's some little things that we've done good this year, but there's also little things we've messed up this year. So I guess I couldn't exactly tell you, but I think it's just going to be how everything runs. I mean, this is my first full-time season, first 33 race season, so I think just having that experience and being able to kind of sleep on it, I guess you could say, is really going to help out when it comes time for next year.
And I was going to say, people don't realize that. I mean, your first start was just in 2024 in the Xfinity O'Reilly Series, the heavy car kind of thing. What was that like making that transition from under like late model stocks and the super late model stuff to getting into the bigger NASCAR car, especially on the like Xfinity car? Was that a big change? I mean, some people have a hard time adapting to that, but you did really well. I mean, you obviously made the Final Four in your first season. How big of a difference was that getting into the heavier cars?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I kind of thought it was going to be not as big of a jump, I guess you could say. I almost feel like I'm one of the ones that's been struggling with the jump, but we have ran good, like you said. So I don't know. I mean, they're quite similar to a late model stock chassis wise, but the tires we're on are different. The front suspension's a little different. Obviously the body's different. The aerodynamics are huge in Xfinity, where the late model stuff, it's kind of nothing. So there's just been a lot of things that I'm getting used to. Obviously the tracks are triple the size as what I usually run on a late model, and it's tough. I mean, there's some stuff that I picked up on pretty quickly, but there's some stuff aero wise and tire feel wise that I've still kind of been fighting, and it's been a jump for sure. But I think as I run more, even by the end of this season this year, I felt like I was way better off compared to how I started. I felt like I really knew what I needed out of the car and stuff like that, and I just think 2026 is going to be a whole year of knowing what I need instead of kind of guessing.
Speaking of the late model stuff, is there any extracurricular racing you got planned over the next year coming up? Like, are we going to be able to see you running any super late model stuff, either down there during speed weeks or up here next summer?
I mean, it's still kind of all up in the air, right? I mean, I'm one of those guys, I don't plan something out a year in advance, right? So I am planning on going to run a late model stock at Florence here this coming weekend for the big South Carolina 400 race they have every year, and I don't even know, honestly. I mean, maybe if there's an off weekend, I might have the kind of want to go run something, but I don't really have a Derby race planned out or anything like that. None of that stuff's really on the table. The only thing left for me is that Florence race this year, but beyond that, I don't even know. Couldn't even tell you.
Slinger Nationals. I mean, come on, man. You've been there before. You were pretty young. Now that you got this thing figured out, you'd be a natural.
Yeah, I'd love to go run Slinger. I got to run there for the Nationals twice, and we kind of struggled the first year, but the second year I think we were running top 5 all race, and then we had a parts failure. So I'd love to, but it's probably on a race weekend if I had to guess.
Oh, it's in the middle of the week. You'll just have to tell Dad, "Hey, Dad, I really want to go run Slinger."
He'll tell me to go get the thing ready.
Pretty cool that you work with your dad this closely. And I believe your brother is your dad going to Florida for the Freedom Factory race?
Yep. My dad and my brother are racing the Freedom Factory, the Billy Bigree race, and that's kind of what we're going to do instead of going to the Snowball Derby. I'm probably going to be there helping out, working on the race car with them, but yeah, it's pretty cool, the relationship that I have with my dad, Travis. We're obviously always in the shop together. Heck, today, after I get done with this, I'm going to the race shop to work on something. So definitely huge to have him in my back pocket, especially at the Xfinity race weekend.
I think that'd be a cool deal. Now coming up as far your path to the NASCAR cars, you ran late model stocks and you ran some super late stuff, but you also ran some Trans Am races in there too. Do you think that's a pretty good way to do it? Like if you're going to give somebody advice to come up through there to get a kind of a mix of different cars like that, does that help you in the NASCAR car?
I mean, I think any racing is better than no racing. I mean, I think I go run a flat car at a dirt track. I think that's better than sitting on the couch. I think going to run an art car is better than sitting on the couch, right? I mean, I think just being in the race car quite a bit, whether it's a Trans Am car, whether it's a Mazda Miata or a late model stock or a truck. I mean, I think that's all it matters right where you're in. But I think just being in the racing at the racetrack, doing it consistently, I think is a big help. I would say that the Trans Am stuff has seemed to pick up my road course stuff. Before I ran Trans Am, I'd really not run any road course stuff, and I ran a few Trans Am races and went out in the Xfinity Series and ran pretty good at the road course stuff. So I think just being in the race car is a huge help at any race car or any track.
Look, Carson, we have to take a break. Can you hang on through the break and talk to us for a couple more minutes?
I would say, yeah, probably one more.
All right, very good. We'll take a break and be back with Carson Quapple right after these.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
We're talking with Carson Quapple, his first full year, and here he is, was in the Final Four and had a shot at a championship, which is, that's all anybody can dream of, I think, when a season gets started. Being that your dad is from Janesville, and, we've come to watch him racing at Madison and Rockford and whatnot over the years. It seems as though we kind of consider you a cheesehead, even though you've never lived in the state of Wisconsin, have you?
No, I was born and raised in Mooresville, North Carolina, where we live now. Obviously, my parents were born and raised in the Janesville, Milton area. So when they moved down in 2001, I was considered a North Carolinian when I was born in 2003. But I'll let you guys claim
it. and it's a family. It's really a family operation. I mean, your dad, Travis, who won championships all over the place before he went south and ended up winning a truck title and raced in the Cup Series and all that sort of thing. Now you've got a younger brother who is on the same path that you were on. And it's a kind of a neat thing that the three of you have all worked together and got to this level.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, starting out, say 5 years ago, just me and my dad going late model racing, and my brother was running too, but he was just running go-karts and stuff like that, which I was as well in the background. But working on our own super late models and going cars tour racing down south here, and we won a few races, won a championship, and that's what kind of got me to the JRM late model program. And I worked with the Junior Motorsports late model guys for a few years, and really on my year out, pretty much I was ended in 2024. I was running some part-time Xfinity stuff, going to be moved up to full-time in 2025. Had my brother working in the shop and stuff like that, and my dad would swing by and help us out with some stuff. But here this year, my brother's been able to, I guess, kind of take my role over at the late model shop as a full-time worker, or a pretty full-time worker. And now my dad's over there part-time working on the stuff. And he's trying to follow the same path we are, and trying to do the same thing that I did.
Is he good? Who's better, you or him? I love asking stupid questions like that.
Oh, man. You know the answer to that one. I mean, if you ask me, you know the answer. So,
Carson, what is Dale Jr. really like?
Yeah,
man, he is just a chill guy, as they would say. He's he's super cool. I mean, you would never know if you didn't know him. If you didn't know him from what he used to do, obviously, just a stranger and passing by, you'd think he's just a down to earth, cool dude, right? And for me, he's not even a car owner to me anymore. He's just a good friend of mine that we play video games with, and I drive his race cars, right? So it's pretty crazy how that's evolved. Obviously, whenever I first started, it was oh my gosh, it's Dale. I gotta can't make him mad at me, can't get fired, right? But now it's kind of turned into I'll just call him up, and if I have a question, I just call him up in the middle of the week and just check in with him. And like I said, we'll play video games and we'll go late model racing together and do stuff like that. So it's really kind of transformed into a friendship and from a partnership to me.
And is the whole vibe of junior motorsports seems that way? I mean, I've talked to Justin Allgaier a lot over the years, back when he was running ARCA and dirt late models and stuff, and he seems just as chill as Junior, and so does Connor Zillage now that he came over to that team. Is that whole team like that? And how are your teammates as far as you being the new guy last year? Was Justin just as open as he seems to everybody else he talks to?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously Justin is the veteran of our race team, and he's the guy that we all walk to when we get out of our race cars after practice, and when we have questions, we go to him. So he's definitely the go-to guy for us, I'd say. And obviously Connor and Sammy being on the team, we all lean on Justin quite a bit. And the whole vibe with all of the drivers, we're just we try to be cool with each other, right? And obviously we can't be a teammate. You can't be a bad teammate and expect to have a good relationship with those guys, right? You got to be a good teammate. And feel like I've tried to do my best at that and tried to help them out the best I can when we go speed racing and stuff like that. But really the whole group over at JRM, from drivers to management to everyone to mechanics, I mean, it's all a family. Kind of feels like a family, you know. It doesn't feel like a business, or it doesn't feel like a race team that you're driving for. It just feels like that your buddy Dale and Kelly and LW invited you to come drive the Xfinity car. So that's the way I see it, and that's the way I like it.
We've been chatting with Carson Quapple. He's not a cheesehead. He's actually from North Carolina, but we're going to claim him as our own. Carson, your career has been taken off, and we're just having a great time following and cheering for you and looking at you as one of our own. And it's pretty fun to have you making the strides you are in racing. Best of luck to you. Say hello to your dad for us. We always love Travis, and good luck to your whole family when you go down to Florida, coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll let all of them know, and we'll see how we do. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, Carson, we'll talk to you soon, hopefully. Carson Quapple, North Carolinian that he is. And for everyone else, if you'd like to give us a holler and partake in this program, that number stays the same, 414-421-7901. There's lots of things happening in the world of NASCAR, and we're going to hit some of those notes after we take a break and come back. We're glad you're listening, and we return right after these.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
The 2026 schedule was released recently, and there's, I don't like particularly looking at it in advance because it doesn't really affect very much as far as I'm concerned. But there's some things that are jumping out of this schedule, and Brian has been looking at it very closely. It's not just the Cup schedule; it's Xfinity too. Or no, excuse me,
Yeah, it's
not
all of them.
Xfinity, it's O'Reilly.
Yes, the O'Reilly series. Yeah, the biggest thing of note, they announced the start times that were released this week, and it seems like NASCAR is going back to that little later shift of start times. When you roll through it here, I think the earliest start time we're going to see next year is 1 o'clock, and that's for a race at Kansas. Everything else is going to be later than that. You're going to be looking at, just rolling through here, 3:30 jumps out, 3:30 Eastern, so that's 2:30 our time. That jumps out at a lot of these races. They have a lot more primetime races. Obviously, the 600 has always been a primetime race. Then the very next week in Nashville, May 31st, that starts at 6 o'clock our time. For those going to Chicagoland, a lot of people were wondering with the Chicago race being 4th of July weekend in the heat, well, we won't have to battle that because they're going to use the lights at Chicago, well, kind of, because it's light out pretty late then. But it's a 5 o'clock start time for the race at Chicago on a Sunday night. So that should give the Wisconsin folks enough time, like me, I'm 2.5 hours from there, to see the race and get home at a decent time. North Wilkesboro, we all wondered about that race being July 19th. That's a 6 o'clock our time, 7 o'clock local time start time for that race. So they've kind of taken care of some of the warm weather stuff there. But then when you go to the Xfinity Series, the CW is making a definite shift to more of a later Saturday afternoon start time. Most of their races, I see 5 o'clock Eastern jumping out on the screen a bunch here when you go through that schedule. So you're going to see a lot of that. The Chicago race on the 4th of July down there, 4:30 local time, 5:30 Eastern time start time for that one. So you're going to see a lot of later races. They have a whole slew of, I think from August 28th through October 3rd, every race, 6:30 Wisconsin time start for the Xfinity Series. So you're going to see a lot more Xfinity racing later in the evening on the CW next year, which I think as far as seeing viewers, that's probably a smart move.
So don't you think that's just odd that they would go to Saturday nights right head-to-head with all your local short tracks? I mean, it's just a little odd. Afternoon, you could watch the race and still make it over to your favorite Saturday night track. And now they're kind of making you make a choice,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I hope they can get their streaming thing figured out. And actually, when we were at Phoenix the other week, we're walking through the garage, and it was Jamie McMurray and Adam Alexander walking there. And then I turned to them and I said, "You guys are doing a great job, but you got to fix the streaming thing." And they laughed and said, "You know how many times we've heard that? And we have nothing to do with it. But yes, we've heard that."
Yeah, well, you're the ones that are the face of your network, so we don't know who the guy is. Albert in Sauk City has been waiting very patiently to talk to us. Albert, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. I was interested in going to Florida to Freedom Tunnel. What's the deal there?
The Freedom Factory race, the Billy Bigley Memorial, is that the one?
Yeah, right. That's the one they had last year.
Yeah,
they had one there last year.
Yeah, a couple of years they've had it. The Wisconsin guys are going down there in force. It's Saturday night after Thanksgiving. And don't believe for a second it's going to be warm out. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I was interested in. I was down there last year, and I had a great time. and I was considered whether they were going to actually get started. That they did get started, and it went real fine and a lot of fun. And I had a Dick Trickle shirt on, and so surprisingly enough, there was people stopping me to visit. So
really
I
cool.
am pretty happy about that. And then there's a gang from Wisconsin that's up in the bleachers. They said, go up there and visit those guys and so on and so forth. So I found it to be fun.
Wisconsin contingent down there is pretty good. First of all, it pays $30,000 to win, which is a kind of a nice thing in the first place. PJ, what was it? 128 lapper? It wasn't a very long.
128 lapper, and we had an all Wisconsin podium last year. Ty Majeski won it. Casey Johnson was second, and John DeAngelis third. Luke Fenhouse was there. He finished ninth last year. Jeff Storm was 12th. Johnny Sauter finished 14th. Andrew Morrissey was even down there last year, 21st finish for him. Derek Cross was 27th. So we had a really good showing of Wisconsin boys down there, and there's a good contingent heading down this year as well.
Yeah, Johnny Sauter is going to go back. Casey's going back. Brazen Bennett is joining him this year. Levon Vandergeest, Grant Griesbach, Kendrick Cryer, and of course Ty Majeski is going to go back and try and win another one. So, yeah, it's a good race to go to, I think. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, sure did. Especially people that have lived there for over 20 years and stopping me and visiting about how homesick they must be.
Too bad. Well, hopefully we'll run into you down there. If you're in the pits, we'll see you down there.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you much.
All right, Albert. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
There's other. This came out this week that I thought it didn't blow me away because we kind of been hearing it and expecting it, but NASCAR finally relented and they're going to go from 670 to 750 horsepower on short tracks and road courses. Now, they have decent races on mile and a halves, but they really haven't had good races on those short tracks. Is this really going to solve the issue of crappy races on short tracks?
No. When this came out a couple weeks back, Kyle Larson said, if you think it's going to make a big difference, it's not. He says we need, 900 plus, which would be basically unrestricted motors to make a big difference. So, I mean, this is a baby step. They were testing at Bristol, but it looked to me from the video I saw, there was like one car at a time. So I don't really know what you're going to gain by that because you need to have multiple cars out there to see if the racing is going, if you're going to get as Crafton said the other week, 2-foot driving back. And that's what you really need on there. You need the late braking, where you get on the throttle, you got to feather it instead of just matting it. Those are the things you're looking for. I mean, it's a little bit of a start, but I think you need to release all the restrictions on those motors to really get what you're looking for.
But without really knowing how this is affected, is this going to mean that they're not going to have to shift a couple of times every lap, even on short tracks? I don't know.
I don't know that that's really going to make that big of a difference. I don't know. With the transmissions they have in those cars, I'm not sure.
Interesting. All right. And one other thing that came up this week that I just can't get it. The Camaro, which has not been produced by General Motors since December of 23. Okay, that's 23 months ago. The last Camaro rolled off an assembly line. They redesigned it for NASCAR for this year's Cup car, and they're going after yet another manufacturer's championship. Don't you have to manufacture a car before you can win a manufacturer's
You'd think so. Wasn't there, when did the Superbirds and Daytonas come out? Remember they had to make so many of them for the street so we could race them on the racetrack. That was way back when, but whatever.
If we're going to use cars that we haven't, that we don't make, maybe we can come up with the Talladega Torino again. That was a kind of a nice car. Of course, we haven't raced that since 1969. But, what the hell?
Wasn't that it back then? They had to make so many production cars so they could race them. That's why your Superbirds are out there with the big wings on them and everything.
Yeah, well, there was a lot more Superbirds and Daytona Chargers built than there were Talladega Torinos. It was just basically a different nose on the thing. Although I did drive one once. It was pretty cool. When in the very short time, I was actually a salesman at Southgate Ford back in 1972. I got to drive one. A used one came in, and I hopped in and took it. And the 428 that was in there was beat to shit, and it really didn't go very fast. But oh well.
You sell any cars?
What's that?
You sell any cars? Did somebody actually buy a car from you?
Yeah, some people did. Not enough, unfortunately. I wasn't designed. Some people can look you right in the eye and lie their asses off, and I wasn't as good at it as Ed Kluka was. He could sell anything to anybody. So, but that's what happened. We're really happy you're tuned in. We're going to come back with some results after this break. LTN returns.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Pretty quiet week of dirt racing across the country, but there were a few selected events around. We'll start in Bullhead City, Arizona, the Mojave Valley Speedway, the Duel at Mojave Valley. Now, if you remember over the years, there was always an event out at Las Vegas Motor Speedway Dirt Track called the Duel in the Desert. That was a big IMCA race. It transitioned to regular modifieds, all that. It was run by XR. Well, this week, the guy who runs XR, Barry Braun, who put on all these big multi-million-dollar events across the country, he was arrested on some charges for not paying people. As you see, like they had a $125,000 to win modified race this past summer up at Ogilvie, Minnesota that Kyle Strickler won. Well, he never was paid his $125,000 for winning that race. He took over the old Pennsboro track in Pennsylvania last year, redid it, made it look real good. Bought all this equipment to put, well, he never paid his bills for the guardrails or any of that kind of stuff, if you look at the different reports. So the old Duel in the Desert out at Las Vegas kind of went away because that promoter is gone. So they moved it to Mojave Valley Speedway in Bullhead City, Arizona for 3 nights of racing there. Thursday night, the modifieds, Ethan Broxma was your winner, and the stock cars was Wisconsin's Cole Sarneski. They did it again Friday night out in Bullhead City, Arizona. Modified feature winner was Colin Hibden, and the stock cars was Cole Sarneski. So the Wisconsin man taking 2 nights in a row of money there. It rained out last night, so they did not run a Saturday night event there. Sapulpa, Oklahoma, Creek County Speedway Friday night for the ASCS 360s. Blake Hahn was your winner. And down in Sonoya, Georgia, they had the big finale for the Flow Late Model Night in America Super Late Model Series, the Peach State Classic. $20,000 to win Friday night. Jonathan Davenport was your winner there. Last night, Sapulpa, Oklahoma, the second night for the ASCS 360s. Zach Dahm was your winner. York Haven, Pennsylvania, Baps Motorsports Park, the Sprint Car Showdown, 410 Sprint Cars. Brent Marks was your winner. Out in Placerville, California, the USAC National Midgets. Hangtown 100. They run 100 laps with the Midgets for $20,000 to win. And Dason Persley got the win after Kyle Larson was leading that race, and with 6 to go, got into Larson. You usually don't see Larson that upset, but he was pretty upset after that one. Just a racing incident, I think, Dan, right? Where you were watching it too, right?
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, he sent it in there, obviously, but he didn't clear him, and he pretty much sent Larson out of the park.
Yeah, when Dason got out of the car, he didn't cheer. He didn't do all that stuff. He goes, that's not how I want to race. I'm going to make it a point to go right over by Larson and apologize for it. So pretty stand-up person Dason was after that win. Springfield, Missouri last night, the Turkey Bowl, 6,000 win for the super late models. Sawyer Krigler was your winner. They had 75 super late models there for that race. For the modifieds, it was Jim Chisholm. And finally, the big money race of the weekend was in Sonoya, Georgia, the track owned by Bubba Pollard. For the Flow Late Model Night in America Peach State Classic Championship night, $30,000 to win, and Jonathan Davenport made it a clean sweep of that. And Bobby Pierce, by virtue of his 6th place finish, is your 2025 Flow Late Model Night in America Super Late Model Champion for the year. And that is everything for this week.
On to the asphalt side of things. Last Sunday, the All-American 400, which is actually 300 laps, but it's at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. The winner was Dawson Sutton. Carson Brown, Derek Thorne, Dylan Fetcho, and Stephen Nassy rounded out the top 5. Notables were Ty Majeski 6th, Austin Nason 7th, Gabe Summers 9th, Ty Fredrickson 10th, Derek Kraus 20th, Penn Sauter 21st, and Michael Hind, who runs at La Crosse during Fest, finished 23rd. Governor's Cup weekend at New Smyrna here. Friday night, they had the Pro Late Models running, 100-lapper, 8 cars. The winner was Jason Vale. Jade Avedizian. Am I saying it right, Brian?
Yes, Jade Avedizian. Yep.
She was 4th, but I guess halfway out of 8
She looked
cars.
like she had her hands full in the car from the little bit I saw.
Well, yeah, 8 cars too, so there's that. Last night, Super Late Model 200-lapper for the Governor's Cup weekend. The winner was Cole Butcher. Other notables, Stephen Nassy was 7th, and 18 cars for that race. And that is all I have for the asphalt.
Notes. Brian, just so you know, Sapulpa, Oklahoma is a suburb of Tulsa. Okay, that's in case you're wondering where that is, northeastern Oklahoma. And when you talk about these promoters that are so slimy that it reminds me of that guy that ran the Dells for a while. The best of everything had put in there and then didn't pay any of his bills and ended up going to jail for 11 years and 8 months. And now, from what I understand, he's out and he's a city of Chicago bus driver.
Wow.
So,
And the Barry Braun thing is very unfortunate. Dan and I got to meet him last year when we went to that big modified race. He has great ideas and he does a heck of a job putting on the events, but sometimes the old saying, you bite off a lot more than you can chew, and I think that's what came true here. I mean, he changed dirt track racing's payouts because in the last handful of years, it went from every race just being like 10,000 to win to having these incredible payouts, and it's because of him. He's the one that started it. He's the one that came in and started paying the big money constantly and made these bigger series increase their payouts. So you got to give him credit for that, but in the end, you still got to pay your bills.
Yeah, where you can't just print money in your basement. PJ,
no.
I can't remember the guy's last name.
It was Brian. Yeah.
Brian something, yeah. Yeah, Brian, the bus driver. So, yeah, that's how that works. A couple notes.
We had the Slayer banquet this Friday night. I was able to do that. And a couple of news items out of there. The Mid-Am series is coming back to Slinger next year. It'll be on August 9th. That compact series is going to run the Small Car Nationals again on July 19th. The Midwest Tour, the Midwest Tour will be back. I don't have the date yet, but they'll have a date at Slinger next year. It might be the opener. We'll see. And there'll be something coming up. Travis Dassel kind of teased everything. Said there'll be something coming up on Monday of the Nationals. On-track activity, something special will be announced in a couple weeks. Something that has never been done in super late model racing before is what he said.
Oh, maybe they'll go the other direction.
That's been done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's kind of odd. All right, we'll sneak away for this break, and we got some news and notes we can talk over when we come back. It's some pretty interesting stuff going on. We'll be right back.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company in the heart of Wisconsin is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
A couple of things that are going on. I found this to be interesting. I'm not worried that we're going to lose the Kansas City race because I did a little research on it, and we heard this week that the Kansas City Chiefs are looking to build a new stadium, and they're looking for a place to put it. And the name that was not kicked around. Somebody actually said they're looking at it pretty seriously. NASCAR owns 880 acres just west of the city, actually in the state of Kansas. Okay, it's part of the metro. It's still going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, remember that the New York Giants don't play, and the Jets don't play in New York. They both play in New Jersey. But of this 880 acres, NASCAR actually only uses 300 acres of this, which means there's quite a bit of room there to build something else, like, say, for instance, the new home of the Kansas City Chiefs. It's on east-west. It's on I-70. You can see it from 70 as you're driving by, because I've gone that way to come out here to Arizona in the past and checked it out. But it's interesting that it wasn't that long ago, the state of Missouri had two NFL franchises. The Rams that played in St. Louis, and now they're talking about moving the Chiefs out of Missouri and into Kansas, interestingly enough.
That would be there's a lot of room there. If you look at a Google view of the track, there's all kinds of room to the west of the speedway there.
Yep.
What that would require NASCAR to do is to work with the NFL, because the second race at Kansas Speedway is always during the playoffs in October. And you know darn well you can't run the race the same day as you have a game, a Chiefs game especially. So is NASCAR going to be able to coordinate that? You know how well they like to work with others.
Will the Chiefs move from Kansas City to Kansas City?
Yeah, they'd move from Kansas City to Kansas City.
Oh, that's
there's other sporting events around that racetrack. The MLS Stadium is right outside of Turn 3. Right outside of turn number 4 is a minor league ballpark there. So there's other venues around that property.
And a casino, right?
Yeah, yep. The Hollywood Casino is outside of turn 2 on that property.
What could go wrong? No wonder we're finding baseball players now. Are we surprised that all of a sudden we're starting to find out that these guys are taking these prop bets? There's kind of no way to police them, right, Dan? And the first pitch you're going to throw is a ball. Okay, I'll throw a ball, or whatever, right down the middle. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, they make money on this prop bet thing, and now they're busting guys. Two different pitchers from the Cleveland Indians / Guardians were. Are they being investigated, or were they arrested, Dan? I can't remember.
They were investigated. I think it's coming out more. They were involved in a lot of stuff. Same with the basketball side, too. They had some players there, too, who were doing that. And a
ref. Wasn't there a ref that was involved a couple of years ago?
It's ripe for that, that kind of money thrown around, and it's easy to do, I guess. I mean, like you said, how do you police it, Now, could that affect racing ever? How? I don't know how it would, unless you purposely crash somebody, or I don't know.
Yeah, we know we have seen caution. Manipulation. There you go. There's been things happen, but how much of it is just to win the race and not so much to take care of a prop bet. I can't imagine unless they're over under for cautions or some shit like that. I don't know.
Actions detrimental to the sport. That's what could
There you
happen
go.
if you start gambling.
Junior Motorsports announces that same deal they had for the Daytona 500 last year. Justin Allgaier will be number 40, the Traveler whiskey car. Kind of a neat looking car, even though it's got some colors that probably were designed by a female. Now, don't take this wrong, PJ.
I'm
It's
already taking it wrong, Todd.
a pretty car. It's tan with orange. I mean, come on. Either way, it looks pretty sharp on the racetrack. They're going to bring it back this year, and that's good. Why not? One race a year might as well be the Daytona 500. We all remember NBC.
NBC.
See, sports.
There we go.
News and bad news. The good news is that it comes back and it relaunches tomorrow. Woohoo! The bad news is they're not going to have any race programming on it. NBC's race programming is supposedly going to remain on USA. They are the people that produce everything anyway. I don't know if it's all owned by the same outfit. What does it matter if it's USA?
They spun USA off to it's like called Versant or something like that now, and that's going to have all the racing stuff. It's technically NBC, but it's spun off with another company.
A lot to it all. Our friend Josh Bilicki of Richfield, Wisconsin, the state of Wisconsin's only Cup driver, will not be returning to the team he has raced for. Mario Goslin is the guy that owned one of the owners. DGM Racing, number 91 and number 92. And before you become too concerned for Josh Bilicki, where have you heard this story before?
Parker Retzloff.
Yeah. What in the hell was that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
That was to let me know that I got the right answer. Parker Retzloff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Bilicki is firing DGM Racing and taking his many sponsors to some other unnamed team, which we'll find out in the near future. Josh is pretty good at keeping everybody informed and the social media.
He's a marketing wizard, too.
He absolutely is. And by the way, Kyle Busch is going to go to the Snowball Derby for the first time in a couple of years. He is going to drive for a guy that none of us have heard of before, I don't think.
I looked into it. The Lopez kid has raced before, but he's
Bryson Lopez.
Yeah.
If you're Mrs. Lopez, what would you like to name your baby? Juan, maybe? No, Bryson. That doesn't add up. No, either way. That's
says
the car.
a racist.
I wouldn't say so.
The question is, what kind of car is Kyle Busch going to drive? Is it going to be a Hamke car?
The kid has had pretty decent finishes in some races. Other races, he's kind of hit and miss. So the thing is, you put a guy like Kyle Busch into any car, you're going to get a better finish than you would expect.
I mean,
because Kyle can squeeze a better finish out of something.
Yeah. The racing world is better when Kyle Busch is successful. So the season he had and how rough of a year he had, I would love nothing more than to see him go to the Snowball Derby and be able to compete and really get his well-being of, hey, I can still do this back, because that would be really good.
You got that. Hey, while we still have a little time, I want to bring on Matt Losey, who hasn't really spoken on the actual podcast, but we have an extensive list of places that you can download this podcast, and Matt's going to fill us in on that.
Okay, I'll try to make it quick. We got a bunch of them. iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Google Chrome, Spotify, Overcast, Podbean, Apple Core Media, Pocket Cast, Castbox, Victor Reader, TuneIn Radio, Spreaker, Amazon Music, Podtrack.com, Windows Media Player, I don't know what that is, YouTube Music, Air Podcasts, Internet Explorer, Safari, Pandora, and a bunch of others. That's it.
Wow. It is a pretty extensive list, and we're brand new on TikTok today, huh?
Yeah. Trying it out.
Well, we'll do more of that in the near future. John Force announced his retirement this week from racing. One of the great personalities in the sport of automobile racing.
Dan Margarita, I'll still remember at 8 o'clock in the morning.
There you go.
In the PRI building.
change your name to Margarita. It's easier to say and way more fun, and he wants a margarita right now instead of 8 a.m.
Here's something we want everybody to remember. Real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our in-house engineer, website coordinator, and king of the knobs is Matt Losey. For all of us involved with the program, we consider it an honor that you tune in, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.